small, too weak to hold on. Its tiny claws slipped against the wet stone wall. The vine dangled uselessly, brushing against the cold surface. The wooden hero slouched again, disappointment written across his cartoon face. That won't do. But giving up wasn't in his grain. He sat cross-legged beside the well, tapping his wooden fingers against his chin. Think. If I were a rescuer, what would I do? His eyes widened suddenly, and a mischievous smile curled across his mouth. Of course! I'll climb down myself! The thought alone made him wobble with nervous excitement. The well was deep, dark, and narrow. His oversized wooden feet weren't built for climbing, and his cylindrical body wasn't exactly graceful. Still, the kitten's fading cries pushed him on. He gripped the vine tightly, knotting one end around his waist. "Don't worry, kitten! I'm coming down!" He lowered himself into the well. The walls were slippery, scraping against his polished wood texture. His long arms trembled as he clung to the vine, inching downward. The kitten mewed loudly, sensing help was finally near. His heart swelled with hope, his goofy grin widening. But suddenly, snap! The vine frayed. "Uh-oh!" he yelped, eyes bulging. With a sharp crack, the vine tore completely. The wooden creature tumbled, flailing his long limbs. Luckily, he landed halfway down on a jagged stone ledge, arms and legs splayed in a ridiculous pose. The kitten squeaked, startled. Groaning, the wooden hero rubbed his round wooden nose. Well, that didn't go as planned. He looked down at the kitten, closer now, but still not close enough. His determination didn't break. "Don't worry, little one. I'll find another way. I promised." The wooden hero sat awkwardly on the stone ledge, his cartoon mouth curving into a pout. He tapped his oversized, bare wooden feet against the wall, thinking. The kitten below whimpered, its small voice echoing through the chamber. His droopy brown eyes softened, filled with empathy. "Hang in there, little one," he whispered. "I won't let you down." Well, not again. He glanced up at the circle of light above. It seemed so far away now. His long, thin fingers gripped the cold stones as he considered climbing back up. But then he stopped. His goofy, curious nature often led him into trouble, yet it also gave him ideas no one else would think of. His eyebrows arched as inspiration sparked. "If I can't climb down, maybe I can build something to reach you." He carefully scrambled back up to the surface, slipping once or twice, but managing with determination. Once outside, he scanned the forest. He noticed broken branches, strong sticks, and even the remains of an old wooden cart nearby. His face lit up. "Yes, I'll make a ladder." The wooden creature spent the next hour gathering materials. His cartoonishly large hands tied sticks with vines, his skinny legs wobbling as he dragged the heavy pieces together. He hummed a silly tune while working, eyebrows furrowed in concentration. Slowly, a long, uneven ladder began to take shape. It wasn't pretty, some rungs crooked, some vines loose, but his goofy grin stretched proudly. "Behold, the rescuer's ladder!" Dragging the ladder to the well, he set it against the edge. It wobbled dangerously, making his wooden eyes widen nervously. "Sturdy enough?" he asked himself. Then he looked at the kitten's faint glowing eyes in the darkness below. His smile softened. "It has to be." The wooden hero descended carefully, his long limbs awkwardly wrapped around the ladder. Each step creaked, the vines stretched, and the rungs bent under his weight. His goofy, slouched posture didn't help. He looked like a clumsy puppet trying to balance. But inside his droopy brown eyes burned unwavering focus. He could now see the kitten more clearly, shivering on the damp stone floor of the well. "Almost there, little furball," he whispered with a hopeful grin.
The kitten mewed, its glowing eyes blinking at him with a fragile trust. His oversized bare feet touched the lower rungs. Closer, closer. Then, suddenly, snap! The bottom rung cracked in half, the sound echoing like thunder. The ladder jerked, twisting sideways. The wooden hero's cartoon mouth stretched in shock. "Oh, no, no, no!" he cried as the entire ladder shuddered and buckled. With a mighty crash, the makeshift ladder split apart. Pieces of vine and stick tumbled into the darkness. The wooden hero fell, landing flat on his back beside the kitten with a dramatic thud. Dust and moss rained down from above. The kitten yelped in surprise, but after a moment it cautiously padded closer. Its glowing eyes softened as it sniffed the goofy creature lying on the floor, dazed but alive. He blinked, rubbed his round wooden nose, and chuckled weakly. "Well, at least I'm down here now." He sat up, his long arms resting on his knees. The kitten nestled against him, purring faintly despite its trembling body. His droopy eyes softened. "You're safe with me," he murmured, patting the tiny creature with oversized wooden fingers. "But, oh dear, now we're both trapped." He looked up at the circle of light high above. The well seemed impossibly deep. He sighed, his goofy grin fading into worry. "Rescuing you was step one. Getting us out, that's step two." Still, he wrapped his long arms around the kitten gently, lifting it into his lap. Its tiny paws kneaded against his wooden surface, trusting him completely. His melancholic yet determined eyes glowed faintly in the dim light. "Don't worry, little one. I may be clumsy, but I don't break promises." The air inside the well was damp and cold. Water dripped from the mossy stones, echoing in the silence. The wooden hero cradled the kitten gently, rocking it like a child. His droopy eyes blinked slowly, determination mixing with exhaustion. "We need to find a way out, and fast." He stood up, balancing awkwardly on his oversized wooden feet. The kitten mewed, curling its tail around his thin wooden arm. The sight made him smile softly. "You're braver than you look," he whispered. He scanned the well carefully. The walls were slick, but had cracks and ridges. His long arms stretched, pressing against the cold stone. "Maybe I can climb, but not alone." He looked down at the kitten, who tilted its head curiously. "You and me, we'll do this together." He tested the stones, gripping with his 5-fingered hands. They were slippery, but some held firm. Carefully, he wedged one large bare foot into a crack. "Up we go," he muttered, beginning the slow climb. The kitten clung to his shoulder, tiny claws gripping his polished wood body. Its glowing eyes lit the way faintly, guiding him. Step by step, he pulled himself upward. His long arms trembled, his slouched posture straightening slightly with effort. But halfway up, one stone shifted. Crack! He slipped, dangling dangerously. The kitten squeaked, burying itself into his shoulder. For a moment, panic filled his cartoon eyes. But then he steadied himself, pressing his oversized feet firmly. "It's okay," he whispered to the kitten. The kitten meowed, as if answering. Its tiny presence filled him with renewed courage. With every pull, every push, they climbed higher together. At last, they reached a narrow ledge. Exhausted, the wooden hero slumped against the wall, droopy eyes half closed. The kitten curled in his lap, purring softly. He looked up at the circle of light above, still far, but closer now. His goofy grin returned faintly. "Step by step, we'll make it."
Resting on the narrow ledge, the wooden hero rubbed his wooden nose thoughtfully. His goofy mouth curved into a crooked smile. We need something stronger than a ladder, sturdier than my arms." He looked at the kitten, who tilted its head and mewed. "Yes, yes, a rope!" But where would he find one? He glanced at the vines dangling from cracks in the stones. They were thin, but numerous. His droopy eyes widened with an idea. "If I braid them together—" He carefully began pulling vines, knotting them with his long fingers. The kitten watched, its glowing eyes following every movement. "Don't worry, little one," he hummed. "This rope will carry us to the stars." Hours passed as he worked, weaving vines into a long, sturdy rope. His slouched posture straightened with focus, his oversized wooden feet planted firmly. When it was done, he tested it with a tug. It held strong. He tied one end around his waist and the other to a thick stone outcrop. "Ready?" he asked the kitten. It mewed in response, climbing onto his shoulder. Slowly, the wooden hero began to ascend. Hand over hand, step by step, he pulled himself upward. The rope creaked but held. His droopy eyes glistened with determination. The kitten clung tightly, purring softly. Halfway up, the rope slipped against the stone, making him swing. He yelped, cartoon mouth wide, but steadied himself quickly. "No fear," he declared. The kitten meowed as if cheering. Finally, after what felt like eternity, he reached a higher ledge just below the top. The circle of light shone brighter now, bathing them in golden rays. He clutched the kitten gently, smiling with hope. Almost free.